Wesson. Here. Randy Gilbert. Here. Randy Gilbert.
Here.
Oh, sorry. Shaylin Hanning. Here. Edward Hillary.
Here.
Rob Seaman.
Here. All right, it looks like we have a quorum. We'll go ahead and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me in the Oklahoma flag salute. I salute the flag of the state of Oklahoma. Its symbols of peace unite all people. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and get started. If the superintendent jumps in while we're on opening comments, we'll let him be able to do his as well. A few opening comments that I would make. Hopefully, you guys are able to receive our emails just of what's going on and things that are happening. I appreciate what Ashley's doing to make sure that we get those, the happenings or the what we're doing in the agency out. So she does a great job on that. A few things that I will point out that are also on that list that you guys get every other week. The apprenticeship model, we will make a presentation probably in the next coming months. We have teams that are working very diligently in the apprenticeship space to make sure that Oklahoma is back on track and leading the way in what youth apprenticeships are especially, but also adult opportunities. So it's a really, really encouraging work that the teams have been doing. So look forward to that coming before you in the next couple of months to make sure that we are, again, setting a precedence for what apprenticeships can be. A lot of work going on in the space about interagency. So that's really, I won't list every agency that we're working with because we'd be here for a long time, but a lot of interagency work on how can we make our workforce stronger in Oklahoma. So been very exciting for that work to happen in conjunction with the Workforce Commission and their meetings and everything is really aligning where people are focused on the same goals. How do we make livelihood better for Oklahomans? And that entails education, that entails childcare, and so many different things. So just great work going on in those spaces. We have a very busy meeting today, so I'm not going to talk at length on opening comments. I'll turn it over to the superintendent, but we have some great people that are guests today, and I look forward to hearing from them. Go ahead, superintendent.
My comments are brief again this morning. We're going to be doing some visits here shortly. The director and I have been having some conversations with higher ed. I don't really have a big update for you on that yet, but I think we're going to start having more one-off conversations with some of you and some of the regional universities on some work going on. So very excited both with the work with the chancellor, but also there's some exciting things I think in the works for some cooperation between some regional universities and CareerTech. So just more information to come, but I will be kind of contacting some of you. There's some folks that want some local connections there with some ideas and activities that have been going on. CareerTechs have started a lot of these projects. So I'm very excited about that, but we'll have some more information to come, and it's good to see everybody in the new year.
Awesome. You want to go ahead and move forward?
Sure. What do we have next on the agenda here?
I think we should have minutes of the last meeting.
Okay. All right. Discussion and possible action on the minutes of the December 21st regular meeting. Do we have any motion there on that?
Move for approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Ashley, do you mind calling roll for us?
Mr. Seaman.
Yes.
Mr. Hillary.
Yes.
Ms. Hanning.
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert.
Yes.
Ms. Wesson.
Yes.
Mr. Brown.
Yes.
Mr. Dillingham.
Yes.
Superintendent Walters.
Yes. Okay, motion passes. Yeah, we'll move on to agenda item 2 there, public hearings on amendments. So we have Ms. Gina Hubbard, who will come up and present those to us.
Good morning, Gina Hubbard, Director of Statewide Outreach. Always good to see you all. The time is 9:08 on January 18th, 2024. And this is the 9 o'clock a.m. public comment hearing for January 18th, 2024, pursuant to the requirements of the Oklahoma Administrative Procedures Act for the proposed rules located in Title 780 of the Oklahoma Administrative Code. The agency has proposed that the following rules be made. Chapter 1, General, under Subchapter 5, Section 1, allows the state director to determine all agency staffing without board approval, with the exception of the leadership team. Subchapter 8, Section 1, outlines department complaints and grievances. And Subchapter 8, Section 2, outlines Technology Center complaints and grievances. Those are both new subchapters in that general chapter. Chapter 10, under Administration and Supervision, Subchapter 3, Section 3, provides pricing and guidance for assessments and printed materials. Chapter 15, under Technology Centers, Subchapter 3, Section 2, zoning procedure for districts that serve 70 or more public school districts or a population over 225,000 electors. Subchapter 3, Section 5 is the process for electing district representation for those larger areas. Subchapter 3, Section 6 provides Technology Center program definitions. In Chapter 20, under Programs and Services, Subchapter 3, Section 20 clarifies program organization structure and requirements. Subchapter 3, Section 4 provides adjunct teacher requirements for K-12 programs. And under Chapter 35, Adult Education and Family Literacy, Subchapter 1, Section 2 updates language to reflect the current practices for monitoring grant recipients. The notices of rulemaking intent for these proposed rules were published in the December 15th edition of the Oklahoma Register, recorded at Volume 41, Issue 7, in accordance with the Administrative Procedures Act. The purpose of this public hearing is to allow the public to provide comments on the proposed permanent rule changes. This is an opportunity to provide oral comments that will be included in the administrative record for these rules. The board will review and consider all comments on these rules. The board will vote in February to adopt the rules as proposed, adopt the rules as amended, or cease the rulemaking process on any rule or rules. Any rules that are approved by the board will then be submitted to the legislature and the governor's office for review in accordance with the Administrative Procedures Act. This hearing is being recorded for inclusion in the administrative record. For the record, the sign-up sheet to make public comment has been at the door since 8:25 this morning. It is now 9:11, and no one has signed up to make comment. No comments were made. This public hearing is adjourned at 9:11 on January 18th, 2024.
Max, I thought you were going to sign up just to mess with her.
I thought that's why all these people were here.
Recording in progress.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. I do think that goes to credit the staff there for rules that were concise, clear, very well understood. We talked about that in the last board meeting, that I hadn't had any negative feedback around them. But again, I think that providing the public a clear explanation and all of the directors around the state a clear explanation helps account for the lack of issue there. So do appreciate that. So there's no more action that we need to take on that, correct? Okay. Next, we have recognitions and presentations. Got a few people there. You want to introduce them?
Yeah, let's go ahead and have our team from TSA come forward, let you guys introduce yourself. We also have Tammy Reedus, that's the advisor, manager of this program, is Tanya Norwood, so we're excited for these students to be in front of us. And we'll turn it over to you guys.
All right. Well, good morning, everyone. We hope you're having a wonderful day so far. We are with the Technology Student Association, or TSA for short.
Here we go.
Awesome. There we go. We have pictures of our delegation here. They're so pretty. We love them. Could you hit that slide again? Oh, no. Okay, perfect. Well, with that aside, my name is Andrea Shaw. I'm currently serving as the Oklahoma TSA State President, and I'm a senior at Edmond Santa Fe High School.
Hey guys, I'm Eric Wong. I'm currently the state vice president, and I'm a senior from Stillwater High School.
Hi, my name is Derek Pham. I'm currently serving as the OKTSA State Secretary, and I am from Mustang High School.
Gosh. Could you try it? Maybe I'm touching it wrong.
Oh.
It's ironic that we're having technical difficulties. All right, well, perfect. I'll move this over here just so it's easier. So as we mentioned earlier, TSA stands for Technology Student Association, and it provides an environment for students to really understand the different fields of STEM and compete in them. In fields like science, technology, engineering, and math, these students can build their competitive and technical skills. In Oklahoma specifically, our members have a chance to exercise these skills through mini conferences. In these mini conferences, these students compete against other schools in preparation for our state conference, which is usually held in April. The winners from the state conference are then qualified to compete at the national level. In 2022, Oklahoma TSA had the honor to host the national conference alongside Texas, and this year the national conference will be held in Orlando, Florida. As these students compete, they also have a chance to create meaningful connections with other students outside of their chapters and learn invaluable leadership skills, as well as strengthening the skills that will make sure that they succeed in both college and in the workforce.
All right. Every year, millions of students are asked this very difficult question. What do you want to be when you grow up? Luckily, TSA has dozens of competitions that focus on real-world skills that relate to real-world industries. So for example, we have dragster design, structural engineering, and software development, which are all concentrated on the STEM field. We also have children's stories and career prep that are related to human services through skills related to counseling, education, and social services. Additionally, business management and community administration focus on leadership and communication, which are chapter team and promotional marketing. Lastly, since engineering is a massive field in itself, which deserves to have its own category separate from STEM, competitions like flight endurance, biotech design, CAD, coding, and VEX all fall under here. And from our variety of competitions, students can find a field that they'll enjoy and thrive in.
I don't think this likes me. Okay.
Really push it down.
Okay. I gotta go to the gym, guys. In addition to honing their technical skills, our members have the chance to exercise their soft skills through these leadership opportunities. Many start out within competitive events, usually ones based in teamwork. But then they have a chance to become an officer, beginning from the chapter level all the way to the national office. There are usually 6 officer positions in each office. First, we have the president. Then we have the vice president, the secretary, the reporter, the treasurer, and then we have the sergeant at arms. In the chapter office, middle schoolers and high schoolers alike can serve their respective chapters and learn more leadership skills. Next, we have the regional office. In Oklahoma, we have 2 regions, the Eastern and the Western region. The regional officers aid the state office by planning our fall leadership conference and help serve us on committees. In addition, they plan their own respective regional mini-conference. In the state office, we have 2 additional officer positions. We have the Eastern and the Western regional officers. In the state office, we plan our fall leadership conference, we plan the state leadership conference, and we make sure to provide our delegation with as many resources as possible so that they can achieve success in the TSA realm. Next, we have the national office. The national officers are the ones who plan the national conference and all the events leading up to it. Oklahoma is very lucky to say we've had several past state officers become national officers. Eric, you're strong.
Oh, there you go. This year in our program work, we greatly increased our focus on our social media with more emphasis on our member base too. We began posting this year like member spotlights, which showcases the amazing people in our organization. And also we began posting more about our amazing opportunities too, like scholarships and awards. And through these new posts, we begin to get more engagement and also give TSA a face. Also, additionally, this year, we have newsletters, which provide members a new way to stay in the loop with our monthly updates. It's everything from our social media, except in a condensed form where they can read it all at once, with the added bonus of what we're doing in our own teams, so that they can see what we're doing, and this provides some more transparency. And we believe it's a great way for members to get involved in their chapters with their advisors, too.
This year, we're also developing our Tech Tapes series. Tech Tapes is a video essay series designed to teach our members the ins and outs of TSA, as we call it, and it really teaches them the essential topics they need to thrive in the TSA environment, whether that be learning proper portfolio documentation or learning some voting etiquette at our conferences. It overall just helps enhance their experience, so then when they're given materials like rubrics and information from our state and national websites, they don't feel overwhelmed with all the information they're getting. But, of course, not everyone learns through an article or through a video, so what we do is we also conduct our chapter visits. We bring these resources straight to the primarily new or inactive chapters that are in need of them, and that way there's no loss of communication or understanding. We're bringing our slide deck with what TSA is, what our conference structure and our competition structure is like, and also we host that mock competitive event experience, something they'll get at a mini conference right then and there on a normal day in school, so they can kind of get a feel of what TSA will be. Of course, all these visits are tailored for each chapter as well. So, for example, we bring that slide deck with everything we need for maybe this chapter in the Northwest Oklahoma. But maybe here in the OKC Metro, all we need to bring is ourselves and just a short presentation on what TSA is, what a CTSO is even, and explain how that can be integrated into a school's curriculum, maybe to a group of parents. And between social media and all of our chapter visits, everything we're doing this year is focused on building our main 3 goals in the state. Building our chapters efficiently, recognizing our members across the state for all their amazing accomplishments, and providing those resources for them to grow now and in the future. Eric, I believe in you.
All right. So that over there is a picture of me in the 7th grade at my very first TSA conference. I'll be candid with you, I didn't join TSA by choice. It was actually my mom who suggested it, and I honestly went along with it because I was in the 6th grade and I had nothing but time. But as I competed, I got to combine my love for speaking and writing with a whole new world of knowledge and technology that I had the freedom to explore. Because of TSA, I was able to grow my confidence not only as a competitor, but as a leader. And that's exactly why I wanted to run for state office. I wanted to give back to the organization that gave me so much. It gave me a voice. As I continue my journey in the technical world and as I prepare for college, I have my TSA experience to thank because it introduced me to my love of medicine and gave me technical skills through on-site competitions.
I became a state officer because I saw the potential for improvement in how we're supporting our members in discovering their interests. For me, TSA really helped out in that area, and today I'm an intern at the Oklahoma Medical Research Foundation, working on research against human diseases because of the skills and the connections I gained from TSA. But it was not necessarily the most straightforward path, and there were many bumps and also lots of confusion along the way, which could definitely use some improvement on. And through that journey, I became a leader through bringing change to our organization and to our amazing members too.
And as for me, TSA was my gateway for me to find my voice and find that passion I have to share information that I love. The problem was in the beginning that I didn't mind doing public speaking, and that was the problem. I didn't mind it. It seemed more of a chore to me to go up and give a presentation to my peers than just go up and enjoy my time. But TSA introduced me to a whole new world of ways that I can uniquely share the information I want to. And whether that be through a video or hosting a podcast, I found that love for sharing my passion for aerospace to the everyday person. So TSA wasn't necessarily the way for me to explore that passion, but it was my way to share that to everyone around me and to share with our members. That's why I became a state officer, to share that experience, to share my journey, to one day inspire the next generation of our STEM leaders so they can fill the very shoes we're in today.
And we thank you for your time for listening to us. Are there any questions or concerns that we didn't address in the presentation?
No concern. I just want to know what Dragster is. What is Dragster design?
Oh, so it's like, it's a little bit complex since I haven't competed in it personally, but from what I've seen, there's a long like racetrack and you build like wooden derby cars. And so, and also you strap like a CO2 canister on it. So whoever gets down to the end of the race line like wins. And you're just working on optimizing your car for the best speed possible.
Thank you.
First of all, you three are tremendous ambassadors for this program. So thank you for not only being involved, but thank you for taking a role in leadership to continue to spread the story across the state. Let me ask you, what could we do better to tell this story to young people? Like if you guys, if there's one thing we could tell people, students going into junior high or high school about the TSA program, what would that be? What would be the 30-second pitch you think that we ought to go out and tell young people about it?
I honestly think you should focus on exactly how much it can impact their lives. It seems like it's just a simple club, but in all honesty, like just listening to my mom's words that one random day completely changed the trajectory of my life. Like I would not picture myself standing here in this room speaking to you all if I had not at least seen a little bit of my interest in TSA. So they should at least just go for it. Just see if there's anything that piques their interest or catches a spark in their eye, and to just go along with the journey. Is there anything you guys want to add?
Well, I just want to add that it's also a great way, as earlier I mentioned, to answer to the question of like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Like every student heard that question a lot, and you guys maybe asked that question too. And so finally, you guys can refer them to a resource that can help them finally answer that lifelong question.
And it's also that part of it where you're getting a little bit of mentorship from your peers. We all learn from each other here, and it's that opportunity that often people don't know that exists. Just go out there and take that chance, because whether TSA will be your future home or not, you're learning that opportunity now through junior high, through high school, so then later on, you're not gonna have that make that difficult decision during college or some other career.
If I could also just add, you three are all very good presenters, and that whole little technical difficulty there, the way that you guys handled that very smoothly. I'm sorry that happened, but we got to see what great public speakers you are and presenters you are. You guys gave a great presentation today, and so I want to commend you for that, and thank you for what you guys are doing.
Thank you for being here.
Congratulations. Thank you.
And if you guys do want to talk later about anything about TSA, our state advisor's contact is over there, tammyreedus@careertech.gov. And we have a QR code to our link tree if you guys are ever curious, you want to see what we're up to. Everything's down there.
Absolutely.
So thank you once again.
Thank you for that. Appreciate that, guys. Excellent. Next on the agenda, we're going to move into item 4.01, discussion on possible action of mid-year personnel report. So we have Ms. Parley.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I'd like to present to you the personnel report for July 1st, 2023 to December 31st, 2023. Pretty straightforward report. So all the information is there. Do you guys have any questions? No? Okay, well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
So the action required, Ms. Holder, is what do we need to do with this?
Yeah,
approving it?
we'd have to have an approval. So basically, if I could give some clarification to that, why we do this way, the board has a responsibility to make sure that they oversee all personnel actions, but a lot of that is delegated to me and what we do through the agency. So this gives you a snapshot of everything that does take place with regard to personnel. So if you have any questions, you can ask Raquel, that's our HR manager, or myself, or senior leadership.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Ashley, do you mind calling roll for us?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Wesson?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert? Ms. Hanning?
Yes.
Mr. Hillary?
Yes.
Mr. Seaman?
Yes.
Superintendent Walters?
Yes. Motion passes. So let's move on to management action item 4.02, discussion and possible action of full post-secondary accreditation for Caddo Kiowa Technology Center. So we have Ms. Ventris to present.
This is very exciting, the first 2 schools for this year. Okay, this first part that I'm going to tell you about is going to apply to both schools, so I don't have to repeat myself. When we do our accreditations, all examiners look at all aspects of the Technology Center, remember, because it's institutional accreditation, and they use the standards that this board has approved. You guys are considered the accreditor from the U.S. Department of Education, and we conduct the activities on your behalf. Our standards, remember, address leadership and administration, instruction and training, support services, measurement and analysis, personnel, operations, and system impact. The accreditation division also conducts technical visits with our institutions beforehand to look at financial aid and civil rights areas. Examiners, first they review the application that the Technology Centers submit. Then during the process, they interview Technology Center administrators, certified and support staff, students and stakeholders. Stakeholders interviewed include business and industry representatives from their communities, other community leaders, partner school administrators and teachers, and parents of the students that attend the Technology Center. Our interviews are conducted, we do virtual group interviews, and then all examiners go on site and conduct individual one-on-one interviews as well as observe all program areas. If approved, the Technology Center has 90 days to submit a plan of action. And what that plan of action is they choose one opportunity for improvement. This is the improvement side of our model. These are not areas that they have failed. These are just opportunities for improvement that the examiners have identified. And the school gets to choose one from each of the 6 standards. And then they work on those over the next 5 years. We monitor those at a 3-year monitoring visit and provide assistance as needed. So the first school we did this year was Caddo Kiowa Technology Center, and that was on September 12th through the 14th. We conducted that hybrid accreditation review in Fort Cobb. The examiner team for this school was comprised of 32 examiners and state agency staff, and 21 of the examiners were from technology centers across Oklahoma. They interviewed 33 stakeholders, and that included in those group interviews as well as individual settings. The examiners found no areas of non-compliance, and we recommend the board grant full accreditation to Caddo Kiowa Technology Center. And superintendent is here if there are any questions for him or me.
Tony, would you like to?
Well, thank you for the opportunity to be here. I want to thank Ms. Ventris for her role in the accreditation process. I will say this is not the first one of these I've gotten to be through, maybe the last one, but nevertheless, you know, the process has changed greatly over the last 20 years, and I think our agency has really worked to become a support agency for technology centers, not just a compliance agency. The process that we go through now, I think, is much more supportive in trying to help us identify areas that we can improve in, and that's always the goal for all of us, is to improve. And they did a great job of that. It's not an adversarial process. It's a very collegial process. The team was very good. We appreciate them and everything they did. I think for the most part, many of the things that they identify as opportunities for improvement for us are things that we recognize going into. That's what we hope, is that we're kind of on the same page and at least a little bit in touch with the things that are challenges for us. Most of those are. Occasionally there's some things that they kind of bring to light, and we appreciate that. We take it that way. It's not something that we're offended by. We want to approach it the proper way to say, it really is an opportunity for us to get better. And I think if we don't look at it that way, then we're remiss in what we do and in the job that we do. We all have an opportunity to improve on things, and that's the goal. So if there's any questions from you all, I'm happy to do my best to answer those.
Thank you for coming and speaking to the board, Tony.
Yes, thank you, and I would like to say thank you to the TSA state leadership team. Those guys are great. I'm always encouraged when I see our students get up and present and do those kind of things, that we've got great kids in Oklahoma. They're doing some great things in their schools, and having been a long time, I'll take this chance to say this, having been a long time school guy and K-12 and coached and principaled and all that stuff, I always thought kids need a place to hang their hat. And when I got into CareerTech, we provide so many opportunities through our CareerTech student organizations for kids to hang their hat in non-traditional ways that we sometimes think of with it. And there's a lot of good things, but this gives another opportunity for kids to be a part of something bigger than them and to grow. And I think they're a great example of that being a very positive thing. So I appreciate your words and your presentation. You all give me great hope for our future. Thank you.
Thank you.
I only have one comment. Whenever you look at the summary, I mean, we're very excited you met all the standards. The one that you exceeded in was the business and education partnerships. That speaks volumes for CareerTech and certainly for your technology center, but I mean, partnerships are very important.
Yes, thank you very much.
So,
It's something that
thank you
our
for that.
team has worked very hard on. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
And with that, I move we approve the full accreditation for Caddo Kiowa Technology Center, School District Number 2.
I'll second that.
We've got a motion and a second. Ashley, you mind calling roll?
Mr. Seaman?
Yes.
Mr. Hillary?
Yes.
Ms. Hanning?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert?
Yes.
Ms. Wesson?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Dillingham?
Yes.
Superintendent Walters?
Yes. Motion passes. Congratulations, Superintendent. Again, I know Board Member Wesson's very proud to have you in her neck of the woods. She talks about you guys often, and appreciate the job you're doing. I appreciate how you verbalize the work of the students as well. Great job. Love to come out and see you soon, but love the job you're doing, and you're spoken of highly up here. So appreciate your work.
Okay, the next is Great Plains Technology Center. In October 3rd through the 5th, we conducted their hybrid accreditation review. This included their in Lawton and included their Frederick campus. This examiner team was comprised of 37 examiners, including state agency staff, and there were 26 examiners from technology centers across the state. The examiners also interviewed 23 stakeholders, and again in the group and the individual settings. Examiners found no areas of noncompliance, and we do recommend the board grant full accreditation to Great Plains Technology Center. And Superintendent Fortney is here as well.
Clarence, if you'd like to say something.
Well, thank you, and thank you, Board. I appreciate the opportunity to address this body. As Tony mentioned, this is my 9th accreditation to be through, and they're 5-year accreditations, so Randy, do the math real quick. I will say this is one I really enjoyed, had the opportunity to do the hybrid model. Appreciate that opportunity. Gave us about a year to get our documentation prepared and submitted and sent in. Plus the team that came on site really had a great opportunity to hear suggestions and ideas, and in fact, a lot of the opportunities for improvement we were already working on, so really had no issue or any question or challenges with the recommendations that were made. I think, as Tony said, with all 29 tech centers, it's our responsibility to do what we need to do to support our communities, provide the opportunity to educate our workforce and to meet those needs. And so just look forward to the opportunity of this next 5 years, and during the 3-year, turn our opportunities for improvements in, get those turned in. In fact, our committees have already met, and we've already identified ours and starting to move and work forward. So entertain any questions that you might have. Mr. Brown, I know you're going to have a question.
I'm going to give you a break today.
Oh. Mr. Hillary, do you have a question?
What areas did you identify, since you said you already identified?
There are some opportunities. One is, and it's one of those things where we have multiple systems, actually have 4 systems where our teachers manage their online instruction. And we've always been our philosophy to let our teachers have identify what they want to try to use to manage their online instruction. So the committee has recommended, actually the body came in and said, if you'll focus on one, I think it'll give them a better opportunity to improve. So now it's our challenge to get our teachers to agree to go to one, because we've got a lot of sweat equity in each one of those systems. So, but we've got a good staff that I think will identify one that they want to move forward. So that way our student, actually it's our curriculum development team can actually focus on that one learning management system, LMS.
Very good.
Any other questions?
Thanks for coming and being here.
Well, thank you. Mr. Gilbert?
The only other comment that I'd like to make also is whenever you look at the summary, you guys too exceeded the partnership, the relationships, also in career awareness and educational attainment. So that was, I mean, that's very impressive. As Eric said earlier, you know, I mean, what do you want to be when you grow up? So you guys have exceeded in that area. So thank you and your team for all you do.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And the superintendent has quite a interesting setup because he's got 2 honorary board members right in his backyard there. So, I mean, the fact that you
Now, you used the word honorary. Great board members.
There you go. Absolutely.
Great board members.
Absolutely. And, you know, you've got those folks, and again, I enjoy spending a lot of time in Lawton, and it doesn't seem like I have a conversation there where folks don't bring up your name and the work that CareerTech's doing in all parts of the city and the broader community. So it's a real testament to you. I know that your board members are very proud of that, coming from Lawton, and again, got to visit your work multiple times, and you guys do an incredible job, and again, the community, it doesn't take very long before your name comes up, and the work that you guys are doing, you've really, really given a lot back to that community, and they recognize the investment of the CareerTech system there. So,
I just have one other comment, not a question, but I have to commend you and your leadership because if not for the CareerTech, and I've bragged about this since I've been on this board, the FISTA, which is a huge asset now in Lawton Fort Sill, would not be around without the help of Great Plains CareerTech. And so I just want you to know how much that's appreciated, and I want everyone else in here to know that as well.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Well, that's what we do to support our community and our businesses, especially the new business and industry come to our community. So, thank you.
Thank you, Clarence.
do we have any, well, I don't want to cut off questions. Any other statements or questions before we entertain a motion here?
I'd like to move for approval.
Yes, sir.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second. Ashley, you mind calling the roll for us?
Mr. Dillingham?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Wesson?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert?
Yes.
Ms. Hanning?
Yes.
Mr. Hillary?
Yes.
Mr. Seaman?
Yes.
Superintendent Walters?
Yes. Okay, motion passes. Congratulations, Superintendent. Next, we have a discussion of possible action of the approval of the annexation of Beaver County and High Plains Technology Center, and this is Director Haken's item.
Yes, so you should find in your packet the sheet that tells us the results of the election that has been certified, so I want to make sure that you have that as well. I'll briefly speak to, I believe this to be a monumental vote for Oklahoma and CareerTech. One of the things that I was told when I came into this position that you'll never get the Panhandle to be a part of a technology center district. So this kind of proves that wrong, that the people of the Panhandle, Beaver County, really want their students and their kids and the adults to have an opportunity to see what careers are out there for them and how can we work on bringing business back to the Panhandle instead of having the outward migration. So it's very, very successful. Would commend a lot of people, and I have to admit I had a director fail. I should have had that superintendent from High Plains, and I talked to him this morning. The county commissioners were very instrumental in this, Ian Kenton Patsowski, that is the representative in that area. So we're going to set up at a future board meeting to talk about their plans and how they're moving forward. They're very close to hiring a director of that county. So Barkley said that once he has that person in place, it'd probably be better to make a presentation then to this board about how we're going to expand. It's been a long time since a whole county has come on board to a technology center district. So it's very good movement, and it has spurred many, many, many other calls from Western Oklahoma that are white spaces about how do we become a part of a technology center. So that's great for students. That's great for the future of our state. I'd recommend to approve these results.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Ashley, you mind calling roll?
Mr. Seaman?
Yes.
Mr. Hillary?
Yes.
Ms. Hanning?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert? Ms. Wesson?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Dillingham?
Yes.
Superintendent Walters?
Yes. Motion passes. Congratulations. And just to echo what the director said, that's a lot of credit to you too, Director. That is always what we've been told, is that wouldn't happen. And so appreciate all your work there and helping support those local communities for get that happen. So really do appreciate that very much. Thank you.
That was a huge step for
Big.
CareerTech.
Yes, that's very big.
And also the Panhandle.
Yes, sir. No doubt about it. So I appreciate the director's leadership there. 4.05, we have the discussion of possible action concerning employment of an individual there. And Director, I'll let you present that item too.
Yes, so recommendation that's before you is to terminate employment of the individual here. You have the opportunity, if the board so wishes, to entertain an executive session or go into executive session. So that is your option. You could make a motion to move forward with the recommendation, or you could go into executive session to discuss further if you would like to.
Does anybody have the need to go into executive session on this? Or are we good for a motion on an action?
Happy to entertain either or questions that you may have.
So the recommendation is
To terminate employment.
So moved.
second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Ashley, do you mind calling roll?
Mr. Dillingham?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Wesson?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert? Ms. Hanning?
Yes.
Mr. Hillary?
Yes.
Mr. Seaman?
Yes.
Superintendent Walters?
Yes. Okay. Motion passes. Then we've got 4.06, discussion of possible action of the performance review of Director Haken. So we have proposed executive session for discussing employment here. We have a motion to go into executive session for this item.
So moved.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second. Ashley, can you call roll for us?
Mr. Dillingham?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Wesson?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert? Ms. Hanning?
Yes.
Mr. Hillary?
Yes.
Mr. Seaman?
Yes.
Superintendent Walters?
Yes. Okay, so we will go into executive session if you guys don't mind leaving us for a little bit. And Ms. Holder, you're going to stay, right?
Oh, I forgot to get my.
That's a nice one, that's nice.
Do we need a vote to come out of executive session? Okay.
Make a motion, we come out of executive session. Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. Oh, the microphones are on. Can we have a roll call, Ashley?
Mr. Seaman?
Yes.
Mr. Hillary?
Yes.
Ms. Hanning?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert?
Yes.
Ms. Wesson?
Yes.
Mr. Brown? Mr. Dillingham?
Yes.
Superintendent Walters?
Yes. So we finished the performance review. Do we have any motion? Andrew, would the motion be for, I'm sorry, let me look, for the salary, adjustment of salary for executive director? Like how, what do we need a motion for here?
We're going to motion to grant him a salary adjustment of and provide the amount.
Okay, so from the standpoint of the State CareerTech Board, we certainly appreciate all that Director Haken is doing. Very representative of CareerTech. This is his annual evaluation. This is his one-year anniversary, so we certainly appreciate what you're doing. With that, I would move that we raise Director Haken's salary to the $175,340, which is the maximum under the pay band, and also that we appreciate the job you're doing for Oklahoma CareerTech.
Thank you.
Second.
We've got a motion and a second. Can we have a roll call? Ashley?
Mr. Dillingham?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Wesson?
Yes.
Mr. Gilbert?
Yes.
Ms. Hanning?
Yes.
Mr. Hillary?
Yes.
Mr. Seaman?
Yes.
Superintendent Walters?
Yes. Motion passes. Congratulations,
you.
Director. Yep, absolutely. Appreciate the job you're doing. And that's all we've got on the agenda. So do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Can we call roll one more time, Ashley?
Mr. Dillingham?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Weston? Mr. Gilbert?
Yes.
Ms. Hanning?
Yes.
Mr. Hillary?
Yes.
Mr. Seaman?
Yes.
Superintendent Walters?
Yes. All right, we are adjourned. Thanks, everybody, for being here today.
But April will be 40. Oh, yeah, because I'm in my backyard, so it's about 2.5 months ago.
But, you know,
So we will see.
Recording stopped.